What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zora today. Shout out to Thrax G. Thrax, we're doing this for you, my friend. I said, F it, let's go, so let's go, baby. Here we are at about 9.3 cents right now. 3 days, 7 hours left in this week here. Actually, in this day, I think we have, 6 hours, 41 minutes left in the day here. Still consolidating in this area, and I have to admit, we actually look a lot better than I thought we would have. You know, back over here on the 11th, on the 10th, this time over here, I really was expecting that we'd see. Well, I mean, first off, we did get lower prices. It did go where we thought it would go, but I thought that we'd see more drives down below 8 cents, where really this is the last drive below 8 cents that we had, right? Every other time, every low that we've had has actually been above 8 cents by a significant bit. So I'm starting to wonder if Zora does in fact see any kind of retracement from this. I think with all the volatility, you've seen it, right? Enough people have bought the highs and sold the lows is what I'm guessing. It's funny. I think the average person might look at this and you might think that there's a lot of selling going on up here and there's a lot of buying going on down here. I think it's the opposite. I think there's a lot of selling going on at the lows and a lot of buying going on at the tops. I really do think that that's what's happening. But overall, you can see this formation kind of coming together. We do have this nice little wedge triangle, symmetrical triangle, whatever you want to call it. It looks good. It looks really good. And I think Zora is getting ready, really, to break out to new all-time highs. Now, if I had to guess, I would think that we're going to milk this range for all that it's got, right? We're gonna mess with people. This isn't the last time that we're going to go above 11 cents and then come back down to prices that are below 10 cents. We're probably going to see that happen a couple more times. But I would think, being here at the low ends, I would think that we probably are getting ready to move up again. So, it's been a couple of days since we've been above 11 cents. We need our dose of 11 cents before we break out here. I do think that inevitably we will break out. We will go to higher prices in a very short amount of time. I mean, November, as early as by the end of this month of October, let alone November, we're going to see new all-time highs. We're going to see new all-time highs. And just for funsies, from a high to a low, the expected areas that we should think about whenever we're going to new all-time highs are anything from about a 130% to a 250% move from here. I would very much expect that Zora does find some turbulence here. We probably consolidate a little bit longer, right? Like we did right here. Consolidate a little bit, and then we continue to rally. I don't think that this will be the high range for November. I do fully expect that from the current price, Zora will be at prices that are above 40 cents by the end of November, which from the current price is almost a 5x. By the end of November. Okay, so all the way out over here, we're going to be at like 46 cents or more. How high do we go? I don't know, but I think Zora really is shaping up for something fierce. And overall, I mean, by the end of November, who knows, guys? We could be at $1.17, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that from this low here, back in the beginning of this month, on the 9th, on the 8th, like at this point here in the very, very beginning points of October, by the end of November, we could be up as much as what would be an overall like 20x, right? We're already up right now 65% from our lows back in, I mean, I guess if we're looking at our actual lows, we're up 125%. We're up 125% from our lows of the end of September, the beginning of October here. And we still have 12x potential in what would be effectively a month's time, a month and a week, something like that. That doesn't mean that we go there. I'm just saying that we have potential to go there, okay? And even higher, technically, we do have potential to go even higher, but I feel like I'm putting on my moon boy boots at this point, right? Why stop there? Why stop at a 20x? Why not see a 100x by the end of November? We'll get there. I think Zora will see a 100x from here by the end of the cycle. I'm very, very confident in that, and we can talk about that later in this video. But I want to go over the short-term stuff for now. Okay, why are we going to move up? Well, for one, looking at this here from the high to the low, we are finding support at the golden ratio. We're slowly but surely confirming that we are finding support here and that we're ready to go up. By the way, this kind of consolidation between the 886 and the golden ratio like this is actually absurdly bullish, and I genuinely mean it. I wouldn't be surprised at all if we were at 32 cents or more over the coming weeks by the midway point of November. It's going to happen. It's going to happen very fast. With coins like this, whenever everything's moving down, right, and then you have one star example and everybody buys the tops, it really generates this idea that oh, this was a one-off pump. It's not going to happen again. So then whenever it does pump, when it breaks out, people sell because they think they're so smart, because every other time it would have been smart, right? They sell the high because they think they're so smart, but really we're going to move up. I would bet a lot of money, and I'm holding some Zora, so I've actually got a little bit of stake in this myself, but I would bet that the next move is bigger than this move here was, right? Let me reiterate that. Let's put that in terms that everybody can understand. Ready? So from this low to a high, I think we can agree that's one move, right? This is not the move. You could say that it is, but I would say that really this was the move itself. That was the breakout move. That's 141%. When we break out again, the next move will be bigger. It's going to be bigger. Okay, it's not a one-off. It's a foreshadowing of something bigger to come. That's what's happening. Okay. Looking at the short-term stuff, which is a little bit less exciting than talking about future prospects. The short-term stuff here, we are really lacking in volume, and that's fine. You don't want to see volume here at the lows, right? You don't want volume to pick up as we're coming down, or maybe a lot of volume at the lows, but we're not going anywhere. That's good too. But I think this is fine. We're getting volume on the way up, not really so much on the way down. 1 hour RSI, overall immaculate. It looks very bullish. Spending a lot of time above the 50, getting overbought, not really getting oversold at all. Stochastics look bullish in the MACD. While in an overall bearish kind of outlook right now, I think you are bullishly postured. You know, the MACD is the one thing that makes me think we could move lower, if I'm being honest, with all these indicators, but it's also the one that should be taken the least seriously on the 1 hour time frame. The MACD is the most effective on the daily and the weekly time frame. And the monthly, I would even say. 4 hour time frame. It's better on the long term stuff. 4 hour time frame. Stochastics are at the same areas that you were each time that you found support before. Guessing you're going to find support here. You've got higher lows in your price, lower lows in your RSI, and you're bouncing off the 40 level. I'm going to guess that you're going to bounce here as well. With that being said, it kind of looks like this recent drop did break structure, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Kind of. Maybe not. You still got this higher low going on. You know, people, they panic. You take this line here. That's not the line that I wanted. We're drawing white lines here, okay? You take this line here. You connect the dots. And whenever you break these lines, people freak out. They think, oh, that's it. We're going to zero. But reality is, you break this line, it's the best time to buy. You break this line, it's the best time to buy. We're still below this line. So I think, who cares about the diagonal line? Really, we're in this overall positive structure. It absolutely is positive. But how can you say it's positive? This is negative. No, it's not, right? Was it negative last time? Was it negative last time? I don't think so. Right? Positive structure. That would mean then that this was positive, right? But those are the best times to sell. Again, when you're range bound, when you're consolidating, you're not going to catch every trade this way, but you're going to catch the major swing points if you have enough touch points to have a diagonal line, right? Like this, from here to here. Okay, you didn't have any touch points yet. Maybe you did if you included this one here, right? But in which case you sold way early, which is fine. But whenever you finally have a lower high right here that you can depend on, you have that. Now you go long down here, or you buy, whatever. And where do you sell? You sell right at the top, right as soon as you break above this trend line. You don't even have to press the sell button. Just have sell orders placed there and you'll be fine. Have buy orders placed there and you will be fine every single time. You're not going to catch the whole entirety of this range, but at least a couple key moments are going to work out in your favor. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but take that to the bank, man. Take that to the bank. Again, we can see it here, right? You've got well, I guess maybe we don't have a good example right there. Actually, let me do it like this. We'll take this low here and we'll connect the dots going down here, okay? Where was the best time to buy? The best time to buy was below the trend line. You broke the trend line, it's going to zero. No, you broke the trend line, time to buy. Buy it up. Right? You better be buying. What about here? Let's try it like this from the top side. We're going to move on with the analysis in a second. This one didn't work out as well, right? Because if you sold above that, you're screwed. But again, it just depends, right? It depends on what you're looking for. Like, you know, it's not a foolproof thing. You know, that's clearly a massive break of a trend. That's a little bit different. And we were bullish here. We were very bullish at the lows here. Called the lows specifically, but who cares? Let's move on. 4 hour time frame. Stochastics look good. MACD is actually at a ripe area to bounce here. Perfect, looking great. Lower lows on the MACD and on the histograms, higher lows in the price. Lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price. Lower lows on the stochastics, higher lows in the price. You're at your turnaround point for all these indicators, and I think that you are going to move up higher. I don't think that we're breaking out this time, but maybe. I mean, to be fair, 1, 2, 3, 4 touch points up here. There's no such thing as a quadruple top, right? Any kind of rejection here is just an inevitable breakout. Maybe we are getting ready to break out. Maybe, you know, going into this weekend, we'll be up here, and instead of rejecting down, right, what we're going to look for if we are breaking out of this range to the upside, what we're looking for is a difference in behavior. Instead of just moving up and then moving down, and moving up, moving down, moving up, moving down, up, down. You see how it's instantly down every single time. Instead of doing that, if we come up here and we consolidate, we do something like this. Maybe over the weekend, we have a boring weekend. We consolidate. We don't reject down like we have every other time. maybe then next week we do break out. We actually do see some positivity. So that'll be your last call. And I'm forecasting it right now only if it happens, okay? If this happens, I'm going to be making a video while the price action looks like this. And it's going to be the all aboard last call announcement before the massive pump comes. Again, the massive pump that will be larger than this pump. You know, the pump that everybody right now who's buying Zora, they wish that they bought down here, they were a part of. Yeah, when we break out from here, the next pump's going to be bigger than that. Okay, it's going to be bigger than that. Absolutely, it is. If not, we got problems. If not, it might not happen as fast, right? In like a 2-day time, it doesn't need to be as fast, but you know, maybe it takes 2 weeks to see that same growth. I don't know, probably not. Probably takes less time than that. But overall, daily RSI here looks pretty productive. Lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price. We love it. Higher lows in the stochastics. Overall, hanging out at the 50, looking like you want to move higher. Productive, good stuff. And the MACD is actually right near a point where you expect it to bounce. When we're trending with the MACD, you look for slight crosses or near touching points with these oscillators, and then you move up. So it's actually, this looks really good, I have to admit. Anybody who's like, well, what about bearish divergence? What about it? You've already moved down. You already cleared out any bearish divergence you could have on the 10th there, let alone on the 11th. There's no bearish divergence here. We're moving up. We're moving up higher. And of course, I do believe Zora has immense potential. I was talking about 100x potential. Let's talk about its all-time high potential and where we're going to go by the end of this cycle, okay? This does not mean this is where Zora is going to go, but if I had to bet money on it, and I technically am betting money on it, I would expect the price to do something on the lines. So here at a $416 million market cap, I would expect we do something on the lines of a minimum of like a 45x by the end of the cycle, which would put us at about a rough like $20 billion valuation, give or take a few billion between friends, right? Who cares? $20 billion, somewhere around there at the low end, to I would say $60 billion at the high end. If we get to $42 billion from here, that is a 100x. So $20 to $60 billion right in the middle there is 100x potential. You know, layer it out. Maybe we have 40x potential at a minimum. Maybe we have 150x potential at a maximum. And with those numbers in mind, let's coincide those with some Fibonacci extensions based off our current all-time high to our most significant pivot that we've had recently. From the current price, which is right here, to these expected intended areas. So a 40x would put you all the way up at $4.20, 45x. Isn't that perfect? The minimum of the zones to expect right there. Literally, I didn't do this yet. I mean, I've done this before, but I didn't remember it. I promise you I didn't remember it. 420. I remember now. We have talked about 420 being a minimum target, but I think 420 is a perfect minimum target. And even if it's not the cycle high, even if we go higher, I wouldn't be surprised if we found turbulence in this area and then climbed higher. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised in the least if that's what happened. This is a psychological area of resistance at 420 there. People make plays just on memes alone. If we go higher, a 100x is possible. We've already established that, and that put us at about a $9, almost $10 price. We could find resistance there. Same reason, psychological resistance. It makes a lot of sense. And then that's 100x from here. You got a lot of people buying and investing in you now. I think people will sell just on principle alone at that point. We'll probably have a hard time breaking above $10. But if we do, I would say that at the maximum potential that Zora could achieve by the end of the cycle, we could see something between $15 to $20, which is nuts. It's crazy, but it happens every cycle, guys. We see crazy things happen literally every single cycle. I don't know about a 200x. Maybe we don't get to 20 bucks. Maybe the maximum potential is like 18 bucks, but 15 to 18 at the maximum. Again, maximum does not mean it's going to happen. We as human beings, we hear, oh, that's how high it could go. It's going to go there. I'm going to sell my house. And I don't care if it's right here. I'm not selling until it goes here because that's where it could go. No. Don't do that, okay? Don't do that. It's very unlikely, actually, out of all the targets we talked about. This is the least likely area to hit is the 15 and above dollar zone, okay? The most likely area that we achieve is something of $10 to $4.20. That's likely where we go by the end of the cycle. By the end of this year, I don't know, man. We could be, I mean, dude, we could see $1, a $2 price. I don't know. Here we are at 9 cents now. We got a lot of growth to go by the end of the year. That's for sure. A lot of growth to go by the end of October and November itself. I wouldn't be surprised if we were at new all-time highs altogether by the end of October, but that's only, from here, that's about 8 days away. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Take care of yourselves, all right? Bye-bye.